I sometimes wonder what Mother Ghana would say to us, Ghanaians, her children, if she could talk to us, and if we could hear her. But I believe in the power of the imagination, and with that power, everything is possible. And so, why don't we give it a try? Let's make Mother Ghana through our imagination. Here we go. Dear citizen, my children, I'm your country, Amma Ghana. After 67 years, I think it is a good time for you to hear me speak to you. I speak every day, but I know I don't get through to you. But this time, I hope it will be different. I believe I am a good country, and I believe that I have been good to my children, to you, the citizens of Ghana. I've given you great rivers, although I have noted with horror that you are doing your best to kill all the rivers I blessed you with. Children are intelligent, although I see you use that intelligence only to feed your greed. I've given you great natural resources. What you have done with them and with the income from those resources will be a subject for another conversation. What I want you to remember always is that if some people had me for their country, they will make me into a paradise. Many countries have not offered their citizens what I have freely offered you, and yet they have used the little they have and built prosperity not for a few, but for everyone. I get the impression that you are disappointed in me as your country. I see that disappointment manifested in the way you are running out in your numbers to other countries. Countries that have less to offer you than what I have already lavishly given you. Your point is that you have failed to develop and use what I have given you to the benefit of all. So this morning, I want you to pay attention to just 6 things I have to say to you. Number 1, please don't treat me like a dead country or a failed country. I am not. Many of you are working with the attitude that there is no future for me. You are therefore treating me as if I am already dead. I want you to remember that I am not a dead country, so please don't treat me as if I were. Instead of operating as if I have no future, why don't you try to act as if I have a bright future? At any rate, are you aware that a nation's health depends on the acts and the deeds of her citizens? Number 2, I am not poor. I have been impoverished by my own children, but I am not poor. My citizens, my children, don't believe the lie that I am poor. I am not. I'm like a mother who provides adequately for all her children, and yet a few of them bully the rest and keep everything for themselves instead of sharing it with all their siblings. I have adequate wealth and resources for the well-being and comfort of all my children, and yet you keep picking leaders who refuse to share, but instead keep all the wealth and resources to themselves. You have to learn to demand accountability from your leaders. Number 3, don't call thieves rich. I've observed with deep pain that you keep calling thieves rich. Stop doing that. Learn to call thieves, the thieves among you, thieves. And by thieves, I'm not referring to those who pickpockets and those who break into houses. The real thieves among you are those who capture the resources for all of you and make them their personal resources and keep them for their own benefit instead of using it for the benefit of all. The real thieves among you are those who keep coming up with schemes to divert what belongs to all of you into their personal pockets. If someone keeps for himself what he should have used for the benefit of 1 million people, of course he will seem rich, but in reality he is nothing but a thief. Until you begin to make it unattractive to steal what belongs to all of you, you would encourage more people to steal from all of you. Number 4, stop setting the bar low for yourselves. Aim for the highest possible. I'm disappointed when I hear you compare yourselves with those below you. In the first place, it does not pay to compare yourself with anyone. But if you must descend that low, then compare yourself with the best. Stop applauding insignificant developments. Demand the best for yourselves and set the bar high always for yourselves. Remember that I am an eagle. Please don't compare me with other birds who cannot soar as high as I can. Number 5, I need you, every one of you. A nation is not built with the efforts of a few. It is true that a few people can make a lot of difference, but for sustainable development, every one of you will have to make your contribution and your input. No effort is too small as long as it is the most you can do. Remember that you don't all have the same abilities, but it does not matter. As Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. said, if all you can do is to sweep the streets, then sweep it with such excellence that those who pass by can testify that no one could have swept the street better. And finally, number 6, stop playing the blame game and take responsibility. My dear children, citizens of proud Ghana, yes, I am a proud nation. Please give up your favorite game of blaming everyone by yourselves. You blame everyone and everything. You blame your leaders, and yet you voted for them, and you keep voting for them and applauding their non-performance. You blame the system, and yet you are part of the system, and you keep the system going. It is about time you quit the blame game and took responsibility. From now on, I want every one of you to think of what you can do to make a difference for others. What can you do to create an enabling environment for another person? You see, if each of you did his or her best to enable another Ghanaian to shine, you'll soon discover that I am indeed a paradise waiting to be discovered. My dear citizens, my beloved children, don't give up on me and don't give up on yourselves. Don't lose hope. I am alive and have much to give. And remember, I'm the only country you can call your own. This is Ghana. I speak to you every day. I speak to you in your poorly equipped and overburdened hospitals. I speak to you in your failing educational system. I speak to you in your polluted rivers. I speak to you in your pothole-ridden streets and choked gutters. I speak to you in your weak city. I speak to you in the failings of your national soccer team. I speak to you in the number of your children risking their lives on the desert in pursuit of better lives. And what I have been saying all along is, please love each other. Please serve the interest of the whole. Please stop shortchanging yourselves. Just learn to listen and learn to pray, as Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. prayed. And he prayed, use me, God, show me how to take who I am, who I want to be, and what I can do, and use it for a purpose greater than myself.